Okay, wait, is stream settings. Okay, is this delayed at all? It's still delayed by like 1 second, but I think that's as good as it's gonna get. What was that?
I just shared my screen real quick. You want this starting screen? I think this is the one we made for Aurora.
Yeah, just send me that and I can do that next time.
Okay. It's gonna be like different files.
Yeah, you guys let me know if the, I'll send it right now. That is bearish on the NASDAQ, jeez. Oh, I am very much so triggered back into ES short. Did end up taking it, just give me a second, I gotta... Okay. Are you guys still testing the straight? There's like a 1 single second delay now. I got it down from the previous 3 seconds. Actually, let me test it. It looks like NQ's trying to bounce up again. Okay, let me test this. Okay, I'm gonna draw this now. No, it's still like a 3 second delay. I don't know, I changed my OBS settings to make it completely live, but just heads up guys, there's still a 3 second delay. I am bearish for ES new low of day. However, price action looks god-awful again during the second hour. For like the last 2.5 weeks, pretty much every single second hour has been terrible, and you just cannot make it up. So if price action stays like this, guys, I'm not going to make any money. I did get triggered into short on ES for new low of day. Pretty small trade, but my confidence is pretty low. Had another great, fantastic options morning, 3 for 3, super easy. My pre-market bias just hit as per usual, and then You know, I delayed starting the stream a little bit because the second hour just looks so bad. But it has potential now. You know, we swept higher highs on NQ. It's chopping up. I would like a drop to demand on NQ and this perfect double bottom to break on ES. But we will see. Let's see if ES gets there. It's almost there. NQ's putting in lower lows and buying wicks, which is a rather bullish signal. Am I going to get filled? I did get filled. Okay. Well, we got one. We got one trade. And that's still looking pretty bearish. So it sucks because I want to take advantage of more of the drop, but with price action being so choppy, it's too low of probability to do that. Okay, so NQ missed my PT right here. Missed it by a single point. I'm looking for 178 on NQ. So I am bearish for that. It's actually not a bad short trade right now. If it gets down a little bit more, I'm triggered in. This area is a scary bounce area for shorts. This would be a rather large trade. Or larger than the previous ones, but it's a pretty decent stop out area. We'll see. If this candle closes right, I am triggered in. But we'll wait. I got to get this reversal candle gone. Screen share is off in Discord. I guess so, huh? There you guys go. Now, if NQ bounces all the way up to here, well, now I'm triggered into longs too high of day. See, this is the same BS that we were dealing with yesterday. It's just compressing, and I don't make money while it's compressing. And ever since I stopped trading options, it pretty much did. This drop was pretty nice at the beginning, and then it's just been compressing. So we'll see if this bounce invalidates. I'd like to be in. I would rather NQ flip weak. I don't want to enter ES because it swept a lot more liquidity. It swept lower lows, and usually that'll help it flip strong. But we did get a big volume spike on ES signaling reversal, that red candle there, and we are getting a reversal. I may be triggered into longs. I mean, technically you could be triggered in on this candle, but I need to wait for this. Hopefully we don't just get compression like yesterday, but it's looking like I'm probably going to end up having to take longs if it gets up a bit more. And then shorts if it gets down here. You gotta love compression. Jay Luna, you can DM me, but I'm not here to advertise a Discord or anything. I'm not here to sell anything. Wow, guys, I may sorry, I'm still sick. I'm triggered into freaking shorts on NQ. I don't really want to enter. Yeah, but I'm triggered in. I filled it. I mean, I have a really, really tight stop loss. And the trade looks terrible. Do not follow this trade unless this green candle goes away. Looks terrible right out the gate. It's going to stop out. It looked like NQ was flipping weak there for a second because this red candle was a freaking massive. You know, it took a lot to invalidate that huge green candle. But now it looks terrible. Don't follow this. I don't know what's up with the second hour lately, but price action could not be worse. It's been like, I want to say like 15 freaking days in a row of just terrible price action. And the problem is I'm about to be triggered into NQ longs. So this trade has a higher likelihood of playing out than the last trade. ES potentially putting in a bear pin, it bugs me. Back to break even on the day, 1-1. But there's a good chance you guys missed out on that loss because it looked terrible 3 seconds in. That's looking bullish. It's invalidating that selling wick. Which broker? I'm trading on Tradeovate, but charting on TradingView. I'm starting to think this is probably going to break to the upside. ES has a possible falling wedge. ES isn't as strong, but with NQ invalidating this selling wick, it's looking like we're probably going to go up. I give it like a 60% chance. NQ got another selling wick on that last candle. I don't know. I could see a potential head and shoulders inside this pennant on NQ. I don't think it's going to play out, though. I think we're at least going to make a higher high. This whole thing is kind of just a really steep falling wedge, huh? I guess that supports the bullish sentiment. I do recommend trading pretty light sides, guys. This time of day for trading has been the most tragic time to trade for the last like 15 days straight. It's been awful. More like 13 trading days straight. Yesterday was horrendous too, and unless we can get a nice break one way or another, it's not looking too good. Still looks like bulls are trying to push it up, but they keep getting invalidated at the end of every single candle. See you later, Guru. What's this pivot from? Nothing super major. Looks like it might be flipping bearish. I don't know. For some reason, the YouTube quality just is not that great. I don't know why. I think it's OBS screwing up. By the way, I don't know why, but I'm still sick, so I sound like crap. That's why I keep clearing my throat. I'm gonna have to mess with that because the resolution isn't right. Looks like someone's shining a flashlight on my screen. But this is looking like a short trade, folks. It's looking like I'm gonna have to give it another chance. I'm actually gonna wait for a breakout instead this time, just to try to get at better odds. Yeah, it keeps trying to pop up. It's looking like it's going to break to the downside. This candle on NQ is sketchy. There's still bulls buying it, but let's see how far we break. And I could be triggered into NQ short right now, but I'm not. I'd rather not trade in this compression. I want to wait for a break of this to give the trade the best chance. Okay, that's looking pretty decent. Okay, that did barely make a lower low on NQ. It's still trying to bounce pretty hard, but I do like shorts if this green candle invalidates. I'd take that to my 178 PT. It's a bit far away given what the price action's been giving me, but it's not too bad. ES is still in a potential falling wedge, which is the issue. Might have been a bullish liquidity sweep. 97.50. Yeah, I mean, it swept this low by one single tick. Nope, that is invalidated. It's just trading this time of day, guys. I just feel like the market's doing just enough to bait me into a trade and then reverse right after. Like, this time of day for trading has just been completely horrendous. I caught this here. That's the only thing I caught so far, but I'm confirmed into NQ shorts. So unless a massive buying wick happens, I'm gonna hop into shorts here and give it a chance because I'm still bearish to 178. That's a head and shoulders break. Yep, I did fill it. Actually, I didn't get too bad of a fill. The thing is, though, my risk reward's all janky, so. I mean, I could do that. 1.2, not terrible. Looking for 178. It did already miss 178 barely, and that PT came from here, 178.25 exactly on NQ. So that's what I'm looking for. It's almost there. Let's hope I don't get blue balled like the rest of the days, but it looks like price action's starting to be all right again. I definitely made the right decision by, being very few on trades during that compression because every day, man, it just compresses the second hour, which is fine for my options trading. My options trading has been fantastic. Like every single day, it's been very good. Futures every day has been terrible. Okay, well, that's a really bullish candle. Barely missing my PT. Was starting to think today would be unlike the last 10 second hour trading days, but this indicates that it won't be. We'll see though. Maybe it does come back down, but that is a pretty damn bullish candle right there. Yeah, that candle didn't finish bullish. Still has a chance. But that volume spike is a big problem. ES, you see that volume spike, it's typically the first indication of reversal. I mean, let's just go back and look at volume spikes. We had this one here, reversed after. This one here was just a massive candle, so I'm not expecting a reversal. And it missed my PT. It did not fill me. It did not fill me. My PT is 178 flat is where I have my order set up. And it hit. No way it missed it by one tick, did it really? Did we just put in a perfect double bottom on the NASDAQ? We did. That's perfect double bottom on the NASDAQ. You'd be hyper unlucky if this bounced all the way back up, it should break. Like 95% chance. And if it goes back up, that's just, oh well. What are you gonna do? It's trying to put in another bullish candle though. These buying wicks are rather bullish. The biggest hope though is ES did not make a lower low yet. So ES still needs to get down a little bit more. And Q's flipping stronger than ES. ES still needs to, that's not a proper low of day. Even if it does bounce, it'll come back down eventually. It's just how hard will it bounce, that's the problem. But the thing is, if NQ is stronger than ES, then ES can sweep low a day. NQ will not get to my PT, and then ES can bounce, which is a problem. But pretty much no matter what, 99% chance that's not low of day on NQ. So even if we do come back up, that's going to really screw up my analysis because I'm going to be bearish for that new low of day to hit at some point. I would only start flipping bullish again if we got all the way up here. And this candle is closing bullish. It looks like shorts may be getting squeezed out. And he has kept that an improper bottom as well. Congrats if you caught that PT. If you guys put your PT one tick higher than mine. I did not, unfortunately. That looks pretty good. It looks like NQ realigned with ES. It's weak again, so if this candle closes red, we should get new low of day on ES, which should drag NQ down. If it doesn't, then I'm extremely unlucky. Hey, Bryce, how often will you say pre-market analysis hits? That's a good question, dude. I don't know. I feel like it's been hitting like pretty much every single day lately. But go on my options channel and look, because it's been pretty damn good. NQ is still stronger than ES, guys. ES is going to need to break low of day by like more than 1 point if NQ is going to get new low of day. Yeah, it does feel like that, Swaggy. I mean, today I was bullish for the trend line break. It happened. Yesterday I was bearish for the gap fill. It happened. So, and keep in mind, my pre-market analysis, it's not like this is how I am for the day. There are plenty of times that, you know, my pre-market analysis is bearish. And, God, you gotta love green to red trades. It's BS. Look how much stronger NQ is. Yeah, sometimes my pre-market analysis is bearish. And first thing I do is hop in calls. You know. Usually my pre-market analysis is something that I'm looking for to happen. And once that thing is confirmed to have a high probability of happening, then I enter. But if I'm bearish at pre-market, and then market opens and it's, you know, look like it's going to go the other way towards another pivot, I'm not going to think about that bearish. God, this looks terrible, guys. NQ did exactly what I didn't want it to do. ES needs to break new low of day. So does NQ eventually, but NQ flipped way stronger than ES. Way stronger. That's a big problem. Typical second hour BS. So sick of it. Never happens during the first hour, just the second hour. And not only did it missed my order. You guys could have hit your guys' order, but it missed my order by not just one tick, but it put in a perfect double bottom on NASDAQ, which is extremely rare right here. So, damn, that's freaking unlucky, man. This trading thing sucks. It's a scam. Don't do it. That's how I feel sometimes during this time of trading. It would really be BS if this goes all the way and stops me out. It really could. NQ is so much stronger than ES. But here's the problem. If that happens, it's still going to break low day at some point today. Like 99% chance, like I said. So I'm really hoping that happens while I'm in the trade. And it's pretty BS that it missed so far. I mean, what can you do? The trade could not have been better. It was a fantastic trade. I mean, it got to exactly where I said it was going to go, minus one tick. Oh my god, that's bullish on NQ. This may stop out, folks. That's bullish. You love to see it. I wonder how long this BS is going to last with trading the second hour, because like I was thinking it was only going to last a couple weeks. And obviously you guys on YouTube don't know if you haven't been trading futures with me. I've been trading the second hour of futures every day, every single day since January-ish, even before. I've been trading the second hour futures for the last year and a half, and it's been profitable. But over the last 2.5 weeks, it's been freaking hell. And it sucks because my options have been so good. You know, price action's been so good lately. The first hour, it's just futures, I get nothing. And that's the thing I'm focusing on the most. The thing that I'm trying to grow the most is futures, because most people that I teach, they move to futures from options because it's just financially smarter, way financially better. You get way more bang for your buck. If you're a new trader learning to trade, you need to be on futures, not options, because no matter what, you're going to lose everything when you learn to trade. If you buy futures accounts $50 at a time, it's going to take you a lot longer to lose all your money than if you throw $2,000 into an options account and blow it in a week. You know what I mean? That looks really good now. That looks really good. I'd be even more hornswoggled if we miss yet again and go all the way back up, because that looks really good. And it is kind of unfortunate that it missed my PT, because this is technically another short entry, possibly down to this low. Would I actually trade it though? I don't know. You know, it's very heavy demand. Supply and demand has been great lately. It's just I can't trade it. It's too choppy right here. I could have traded it right here, but I wanted to lock in my gains for the day. So, but look at the supply on ES. Look at that. That is fantastic. Look at NQ trying to hornswoggle me, guys. You see that? Here's the thing now. This is bearish consolidation. This is a bear flag on NQ. I'm not going to move my PT, but because it's either going to hit my PT or it's going to stop out, right? But if it does hit my PT, we have market likes to move in two legs, right? First leg consolidation, second leg. Well, this consolidation is pretty decently proportional with the first leg, putting my potential PT for a second leg all the way down here. Now, of course, it could stop out right now, but what I'm saying is, if it does hit my PT, it's pretty likely to get to my second pivot, which is around 167 on NQ. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of unwilling to move my PT, because if it does get there, and that's an if, but if it does get there, I had to go through hell for it to get here. This has been a psychologically terrible trade. But this is where that PT comes from. It's not a super significant pivot, but it is a perfect double bottom. No, not quite a perfect double bottom. but pretty close. So this is a pretty decent pivot here. So if you want to extend your PT out to there, go ahead. Oh, good Lord, I'm tempted to do it. I am tempted to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Because here's the thing. When it's a tough decision like that, if I know it's probably going to go further, I'll usually move my PT and move up my stop, right? However, if it was really, really hard to get to the first PT in the first place, like I had to go through psychological hell to get there. Like, for example, miss my PT by 1 tick, put in a perfect double bottom, flip me all the way to red, and then come back down, and then bring me back to red. You know, just an absolute pain in the ass. Okay, so look, that's the problem. That's why NQ being stronger than ES was an issue. ES swept low of day with a bull hammer, so ES could have the setup to reverse now, and NQ may not get to my pivot. But anyways, what would hurt my psychology more? What would be worse for me emotionally? If I don't move my PT further away, and the further PT ends up hitting, or I move my PT further away, and it only hits my original PT and goes back up. Now, granted, that possibility is much less likely to happen, probably by like 20%, 15%, something like that. But the amount that would hurt my psychology bears too big of a risk on my accounts to do that. So, in this specific case, I'm not moving my PT further away. Let's see if it gets there, though. That'd be nice if we figure that one out. Do you trade futures the same way as options? Yes, pretty much the same way. It's a little more mechanical than the way I trade options. The thing is with options, I have theta decay, right? And I'm trading 0 days, PT it. If you want to put your PT down here, you can. I should have just filled there. Let's check. Yes, I did. Praise the Lord. Okay, hang on. Let me document this in my journal. At what time is it? Probably gonna get to that second PT, guys, but it's all right. I made the decision, executive decision. Let me just bring back this. Okay. So you're looking at 600 a mini if it does get that further PT. But if you just did what I did, what is that? 78. Okay. No idea what I was saying. Oh, yeah. Okay, so with my options trades, here's the thing. You know, with futures, I can hop in a trade, put my PT, let's just say on ES 10 points away, and you're trading 1 mini. Let's just say 2 minis. You're trading 2 minis on ES. 10 point stop loss, 10 point PT, or 10 ticks, sorry. 10 tick PT, 10 tick stop loss. That's plus minus $250. It doesn't matter if it happens in 3 minutes or 3 hours. It's going to be the same. So the problem is with options, though, I'm also battling against time. So with my options trades have a higher win rate because if there's a trade like this where I hopped in on futures here, but you know, actually this trade would be fine. This trade would be a full-size trade. What was a half-size trade this morning that I end up averaging down on? It was this trade? Yep. No. I always forget. It was this trade. Yeah, it was. Let me go back to my options channel so I can take a look real quick. This will clear things up for you guys in YouTube as well. A lot of you guys in my place already know this, but... Okay. Yeah, 7:31 a.m. Entered SPX calls, half size, here. I'm bullish for it to get... I have a pivot like right here, okay? So I'm triggered into the trade here. It's bullish enough to look like it's going to continue running. However, I'm buying near high of day. This is a good place for it to pull back if it were going to pull back. And where do you stop out? You stop out when your initial hypothesis is invalidated. Okay, well, does my initial hypothesis include a pullback? Sure, it can pull back, and with NQ being weaker, it may want to. So this is a trade where I enter half size to where it's bullish enough for me to get in, but not bullish enough for me to be full size because my hypothesis includes a potential pullback, which can really hurt my contracts. So it's safer for me to go half size. And there's second PT hit, by the way, if you guys took it. There you guys go. Type in chat if you guys took that second PT. Totally up to you guys, but it was a tough decision. I made a psychological decision. It's fine. I don't care. Anyways, so it's bullish enough for me to get into calls, but not so bullish. And also maybe the risk toward isn't as good yet. You know, my stop loss is too far away at the moment because my hypothesis, it's bullish enough for me to get in. That's a reversal candle on NQ if I've ever seen one. Bullish enough for me to get in, but I've got a ways before my hypothesis is invalidated. That's a trade I'm going to enter half size on. Because roughly about 70% of all the trades, 70 to 80% of all the trades that I go half size on, I do get the ability to average down. So over the long run, it helps me just a little bit. I think it increases my win rate. It increases my win rate a lot, but obviously some of my wins are going to be half size if it just continues running and I never add, whatever. But overall, my profits are up like 10, 15%. So not a huge boost. And frankly, if I didn't alert, I would trade like that a little bit less. But the problem is when I'm alerting, like futures, you guys see me enter shorts here. Shit, stopped out in 30 seconds. Oh, wait, I got to re-enter. I'm fine doing that because my psychology is strong enough to do that. But if I'm alerting my options, A, that's a hell of a lot of typing, and that's a lot of reading for you guys. That's just hard to follow. But B, you know, if I stop out in 1 minute, a lot of people aren't going to stop out. That's a given. But what if I have to re-enter, and those people do stop out and they re-enter, and I have to stop out again? Do you think they're going to stop out? No, they're not. They're going to let it blow their account, right? So it's also just a safety thing. Of course, non-financial advice. But it's also just a safety thing for the people following me. They know that the hypothesis has some room before it's invalidated. And yeah, because I don't want to run the risk of re-entering a bunch of times on options, because that's just hell to alert. So type in chat. Does that make sense? Whoever asked that, who asked that? Axel. If you guys want to be risky and enter long, if this candle does not get a selling, it's looking like a possible long entry, but I am bearish to this level. It's my next major pivot. I am bearish for it to get there. I cannot enter, unfortunately, unless we get a decent size bounce. I cannot do it. The way it's chopping down right now, nope. But if we can get like a decent kind of bounce like this, and then we start validating that bounce, boom, the odds of that trade working out will be much higher, and that's a trade I can take. Doesn't mean it's going to hit PT, but it's going to be a better trade. But you know what? I'm just feeling better today that I at least started the day green, right? Even though I got stopped out once unnecessarily, still green overall, so that's very nice. How much was this one? I forgot how much this one actually was. And then again, with that one, it looked bad so quickly that a lot of you guys didn't even enter it because I said, oh, don't enter this, because it looked not good at all. Right from the entry. That's about right. And obviously, you guys should know why that's a reversal signal, right? Not only are we in demand, but we swept this pivot. We got a big volume spike. We got a big buying wick. Looks good. But actually, I can't tell if this bounce is going to continue yet. I can see both sides. Still leaning a little bit more bearish than bullish, but we're seeing a lot of bears step into this trend early, and it could be fuel for a squeeze. Your OBS is screwed up on YouTube. Let me check. Is it screwed up? Oh, you cannot see NQ price on the right. Yeah, I guess you cannot, huh? Let me see if I can fix that. I don't have it cropped at all, though. And there's still like a 3-second delay on OBS, guys. I'm going to fix it. I changed a lot of settings to try to make it better. And it's not cropped at all. I don't know why you guys can't see that far on the right side. Okay, wait. Yep, I don't know. It doesn't show that it's cropped, guys. Oh wait. Now you guys can see the price. That is so weird. See, I'm so new to streaming. I usually just share my screen on Discord and it's all easy life. But now it's fixed. I did not do a single thing and it's fixed, so. Congrats if you guys took that long trade. That was a beautiful call out. It's just, you know, again, mixed sentiment. I haven't been taking reversal trades as much because they're just too unlikely to play out. They do have really good risk to reward. This one I could have taken it. What really drove me away was this red candle after the bull hammer. But like I said, I can see both sides. Bears were trying to short into the bounce. You saw every single one of these candles start out either red or with a big selling wick. That's fuel for a potential short squeeze. They shouldn't be shorting down there. So yeah, I could see both sides. That looks pretty good to at least get to this level. It's a beautiful bounce. It's looking like price action is actually being workable today. And it's still not even that great. It's just, it's okay enough for me to make money. As long as it's not chopping sideways or compressing, I can make money from it. But if it's like yesterday, I cannot. Yeah, that looks really good to this level. Looks very good to that level. Tell me in chat, you guys, anyone take those reversal longs on either the NASDAQ or the yes? I'd take the NASDAQ. It's been stronger. Is there a link for the YouTube? Yeah, it's somewhere. Oh, there you go. So we took 3 trades, 1 loss, 2 wins. Not bad. And the 1 loss I did, most of you guys didn't even take it because it was a loss so instantly. But also the hypothesis ended up playing out in the long run anyways. Okay, so we bounce up enough now that I can enter these shorts if we invalidate it. Now, if we're going to put in bearish consolidation, then we're going to make higher highs and we're going to flag, which means I'm going to lose once at least before it actually hits PT, but I'm still going to be triggered in. So depending on how this candle closes, I may take my shorts here. The downside to this trade is we do have a potential inverse head and shoulders. It's less likely on ES because it's swept sell side. NQ made a lower high, which makes this inverse head and shoulders just a little bit more likely. But I said if we get a bounce and we invalidate the bounce, that's enough for me to get in. So this is enough for me to get in. Obviously, I wait for the last 10 seconds of each candle to take a trade. So those of you guys on the stream, you guys are about a 3-second delay. If I say I'm looking at a trade, if the candle closes a certain way, just know I'm waiting for the last 10 seconds. And on your guys' charts, if the last 10 seconds, see how it closed with that big buying wick? I gotta wait now. It still looks good to enter. I'm gonna let this candle close even though I don't want to. Only because NQ looks a little too likely to pop back up to this high and form a inverse head and shoulders. Just a little too likely. But if this candle stays like this without a buying wick, it looks like I'm going to be entering right around here. And that's going to be my stop loss. That's the stop loss I'm going to have to work with. 7 seconds on the non-delayed time. I did put my order down and it did fill. All right, I'll give it a shot. It's a decent trade setup. It is a decent trade setup, so I'll see if I'm lucky enough. Again, the big risk for this trade is NQ may put in an inverse head and shoulders, which means I may stop out and then have to re-enter if it comes back down. But, you know, I'm triggered in, so. This is definitely a trade, though, you know, because most bearish consolidations, they have more than one oscillation. This is a trade right here. Actually, no, I'd go full size on options here. If the entry wasn't as solid, like it got a buying wick, I'd go half size, but this would be a full size trade. All right, well, at least the entry was good. At least I started off with a red candle, valid entry. Makes the trade a lot easier to accept a loss on because your entry was pretty good. Now let's just hope ES doesn't flip strong, knock on wood. So Iceland, that's an interesting question. I don't do much of my charting on Thinkorswim at all. It looks like ES is flipping stronger, unfortunately, just by a little bit. I don't do much charting on Thinkorswim. I do have SPY and QQQ up, and I do just look at them. But as you guys know, in my options channel, I do my charting on the futures charts. And for those of you in YouTube that don't know why I do it, it's because on SPY and QQQ, overnight, the charts are sketchy. There's no volume. You know, I can't see much. Now, if you're trading Tesla, you don't need to see the extended hours. That's why all you guys that have my supply and demand indicator or chart supply and demand, I tell you guys, turn off extended hours. Do not use it. But I do have electronic trading hours, which is the futures version of extended trading hours, on for ES and NQ, because I need to see what happens overnight. China isn't trading Microsoft overnight. However, every other country in the nation, which involves major institutions, are trading the S&P and NASDAQ overnight. So that means there are major pivots and major contexts and just major levels that will affect today's price action that are formed overnight by other countries. So that's why I do all my charting on ES and NQ, and that's also why my pre-market analysis has a pretty damn good win rate. That's why. So, you know, I don't have my futures charted on, I don't have my futures up on Thinkorswim. I just have SPY and QQQ because the candles are way better on SPY and QQQ, but I just have my charts up on Thinkorswim. They're very small. Just so, like, if I am actively closing a trade on my active trader or actively opening a trade, I don't have to go back to TradingView to look at the chart. But I do pretty much all my charting in TradingView. And then I just switch over to Thinkorswim and throw up my, and just execute my trades. Well, that was looking good. ES made a lower low and is bouncing, which is bullish. That is bullish. However, the biggest hope right now is NQ actually missed low of day. The problem is we are starting to compress. Luckily, though, we're starting to compress when I'm already in a trade. So it's either going to stop out or go to take profit. It's looking a bit more likely to stop out now because ES swept low a day. It was a damn good entry. I entered there because I figured low a day was coming up. It's just, is it going to continue down after low a day? That's the part you don't know. But I do think that if we do come up, I am going to have to re-enter. It's probably going to come back down. Obviously, I'm hoping that happens before it gets my stop loss. But that's what I think is likely to happen if I stop out. I do think it's probably going to come back down. And for those of you in YouTube that aren't familiar with my psychological teachings, you would think to yourself, why wouldn't you just move your stop loss further away, huh? It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. 100% do not do it. For every unnecessary stop loss that I take, that's the price I pay for consistency. That's the cost. That's what it costs to be consistent. There's nothing that you can do in trading that's just pros or just cons, right? Everything is pros and cons. Sure, if I move my stop loss further away, my win rate's going to skyrocket. But the size of my losses is also going to skyrocket, and my psychological deterioration is going to skyrocket because I'm going to be unwilling to accept being wrong. And I know a lot of you guys get to the point where you enter mind freeze and You move your stop loss because you're so confident it's going to come back down if you're in puts, for example, and it just doesn't. And because your expectations were so far out of line with the reality of the environment that you're operating in, your brain simply cannot process the experience appropriately and it shuts down. And then you just sit there and watch the market take your money away while not even thinking about stopping out until an innate sense of self-preservation kicks in and you sell for a massive loss. And you don't close that trade until the pain of losing one more dollar exceeds the pain of being incorrect, which is one of my favorite quotes from the Mark Douglas notes I sent to you guys. You don't sell until the pain of losing one more dollar exceeds the pain of being incorrect. And that is not a good way to trade. You should not have to feel pain to do what's in your best interest. You should not have to feel pain to stop out of a losing trade. Because stopping out of your losing trade is in your best interest. You should not have to feel pain to make the right decisions. You shouldn't have to do it. So you got to take it out of that context. Like I say all the time, losing and trading, red trades are not losses. You are a business, and if you're going to trade for a living, your business has overhead expenses. And you must pay those expenses or else you'll go out of business. It's simple. Every single time you guys try to avoid loss, it'll work for a couple days, and then finally it doesn't work and you go out of business, right? So losses are nothing more than business expenses that allow you to be available for the next winning trade, just like a casino, right? There's no way to know what happens next. Don't let any, clipping guru online tell you there's a way to know what's going to happen next. Impossible. There's never a way to know what happens next. It may seem that way, well, not in this hour, but in my options trades, it may seem like I know what happens or I know what's going to happen. I have absolutely no idea. I am guessing what happens next, which makes trading gambling. However, if you have flawless psychology and a half-decent strategy, you're no longer gambling as a gambler at the casino. You're gambling as the casino itself because your strategy and your flawless psychology tips the law of probabilities in your favor. So over a large series of events, you will always be profitable just like a casino as long as you can execute flawlessly. And execute flawlessly means I can stop out of 4 trades in a row and I'm not going any heavier on the 5th trade to try to make it back. I can have 4 red days in a row and I'm going to show up to the 5th day the exact same as I always was with the exact same psychology, ready to win or ready to lose. And if you can do that, you'll be profitable consistently. But not unless you learn to be like a casino. So NQ is a lot stronger than ES. Looks like it's going for that high. ES is weaker, which looks pretty decent. But if NQ holds a screen candle without a selling wick, I'm gonna start thinking it's gonna try to get up here, which I know ES is a little bit weaker right now. I don't think it's weak enough to not stop me out if NQ goes up here. You're in at 178.50, Kazumu. Okay, you entered NQ short here. Okay, it's not bad. ES is just the weaker one, ES would have been the better one to take. It's still not bad, though. It's a valid trade. Yeah, it's a valid trade. Oh, you were long on the reversal candle. Oh, why did you not take profits when it was running? I mean, I guess, were you just waiting for this level, Kazumu? Because you were up a shit ton, dude. Oh, wait, you didn't take it on the reversal candle. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You were up a good amount on that reverse. Because your stop loss should have been just above high of day. You're almost at 2.0 restore there. Big F. Okay, Kazumu, let me ask you this. When you took that trade, did you already have your price target picked out? And did you already have your stop loss picked out? Because frankly, you should have stopped out on this candle. And even though you're long and it's up more now, you should have stopped out on this candle. Your hypothesis was, I am hypothesizing that it's going to reverse based on this candle right here. The candle got a big volume spike, it got a buying wick, it swept liquidity and lower demand. So your hypothesis revolves around that entire candle, which means your hypothesis is invalidated if that candle goes away. Which means you should have stopped out right here. Because here's the thing about reversal candles. If your psych deteriorates a little bit and you decide to give it a little bit more room, then you get into the domino effect of, I'll just give it a little bit more room. A little bit more room. A little bit more room. And then the fear starts kicking in. And that part 5 of the Mark Douglas series around the 17-minute mark is fantastic to watch for that exact experience. Because as you guys know, my favorite quote of all time is fear acts on your perception of information. So fear acts on your... Geez, I'm sick. I'm mispronouncing my words. Fear acts on your perception of information in a way that you create the very experience you're trying to avoid. How often when you... And for you YouTube guys who aren't as familiar with this stuff, every time you're scared of an account blowing up, you can be green. Let's say you've had a green week, and all of a sudden you start feeling a little bit of fear that, man, I'm kind of scared I'm going to give these profits back. Or I'm scared this trade's not going to hit PT, or whatever happens. How often does that fear happen? It happens every time. And if it doesn't happen the next day, it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen this day, it'll happen the next day. It always happens. And it's because when trading, we're dealing with only information, and our perception of information creates our results, and fear alters that perception of information in a way that you create the very experience you're trying to avoid. And the part 5 of the Mark Douglas notes at the 17-minute mark talks about that decisively. And I've always kind of known that. For the last 2 years, I've known that. But I never knew why it happens. I thought it would just be superstitious, right? Why is it that whenever I start being afraid that a trade's going to stop out, it stops out? How the hell does that happen? And I would just think it's superstition, right? I'm like, I don't know why it happens, but it always happens. Whenever I'm afraid of giving back profits, I always give them back. Whenever I'm afraid of this trade never coming back to green, it never does, and I lose a ton of money. It wasn't until I watched the Mark Douglas Part 5 notes, specifically around the 17-minute mark, I think it is, that I learned why it happens. And that's why with the study session we did last week, I went over that specific part. And that specific part is one of my all-time favorite parts in that entire series because it addresses just that. Well, we're bouncing again. And ES looks like it has flipped stronger than NQ now. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, if I stop out, I'm probably going to re-enter at some point. But we're back to the second hour shenanigans. To be fair, though, with how much chopping we've had from the second hour onward, all right here and all right here, what did I catch? Well, I caught this drop here. I didn't catch all of it. My PT was close because it's been chopping. I caught this right here, and I caught this right here. So out of all the all the crap that happened today, it's choppy as hell, terrible price action still. Pretty much the major moves I was able to catch just because I got just enough. I am mildly concerned about these shorts though, guys. NQ's starting to look like it's like flagging. If you zoom out just a little bit, it's not as likely because this bounce. If this bounce went higher and then this bounce went higher, it would look a lot more bullish, but it didn't, so not super concerned. I will say if NQ does get all the way back up to here, I am bullish for a new high of day. So if it does get up to there, I have a trade for that. Does that make sense on the YouTube, guys? Everything I just ranted about, does that make sense? Where do you find the Mark Douglas videos? Great question. So those of you that came from other places, there's a YouTube that I linked yesterday. This YouTube. I'm going to post them on my YouTube, but all of them keep getting taken down. This is the last YouTube channel with the Mark Douglas videos. I'm going to send it in chat. All you guys who are here that are brand new, for the love of the sweet Lord, watch those videos. If you want even a small chance at ever doing this consistently, if you truly love trading and you want to do this, watch those damn videos. PT hit. There we go. That was fun. Watch the damn videos, guys. I'm so serious. I am so serious. There's never been anything in my and I've taught lots of master classes. I haven't been doing it as much lately. There's nothing that I've ever recommended more than those videos. And I've been working closely with around 100 people, 80 to 100 people all year, kind of mentoring and whatnot. And all of their progress doesn't come from, you know what, my strategy is just fantastic. Now I learned a new strategy is making money. Zero. Not a single soul in my entire place that has 22,000 people in it. Not a single soul has ever said that. Ever. It's always the psychology that flips you profitable. There's millions of different strategies that are half decent. There's only one mindset that you have to have in order to be profitable, and no one has it. The next PT is this next blue line, which is from some major low. Yeah, it's a, you know what, this blue line's a perfect double bottom, it looks like, so it's pretty. Oh, this is a perfect triple bottom. Okay, that's actually a decent pivot. It's not as major because it happened during an uptrend, but it's a decent pivot. Guys, we're finally a green day. Finally, for the love of God, we're having a green day. Freaking hate this. Hate trading this time. You guys have no idea. It sucks so bad. Every and there's that PT hit if you guys extended your PT out. It's been sucking so bad that every morning is so good on options, and then future is just terrible. All right, hang on. I didn't even document that last trade. And start journaling, you weirdos. If you guys aren't journaling yet, you better start doing that. But I linked you guys that YouTube channel in the comments. Start with part 1. Click all videos. Start with the Mark Douglas Trading Psychology part 1. Watch it all the way through part 7. And then after you watch it, please come back to me. DM me. Show up in this YouTube. Give me your thoughts. Because I love hearing how freaking eye-opening it is. It really is. You do not know how. You don't even have an idea of what it takes to be a profitable trader until you watch that. I'm so serious. You may think you know how to be a profitable trader and you're just trying to do it. You don't know until you start studying that. You have no idea how hard trading actually is until you start studying that. That is a bullish reversal signal. You got a big volume spike, you got a buying wick on a major pivot, and we are bouncing from it. If we do come up, this is a pretty decent long trade. Hell, you could go all the way to here, but I'd just take it to the smaller one. Actually, I have to just probably take it to here. This is a pretty decent long trade that I may take. Type in chat if you guys made money on that. That was a good one. Very happy with that. How much did I make on that? Not enough, but okay. Again, I'm still journaling this. Was that 11 I filled that? Okay. 4 trades, 3 wins, 1 loss. That's pretty good. With good risk reward as well. YouTube chat, I think. Yeah, I sent in the YouTube chat. You guys in the Discord, just go to the Trading Psychology channel. I downloaded the videos because they keep getting taken down on YouTube. All of them got taken down on YouTube, except you guys found that YouTube link. So obviously, I'm not here to advertise Discord, sell an indicator or anything. I'm just here to hang out, help more people, and start, doing more things. I've been too complacent lately, and I want to spend more time trading and whatnot. But for you guys in YouTube, go to that YouTube link. Yeah, Blackhawk, just go to here. Just go to the Trading Psychology channel, dude. It's all in there. They're the downloaded videos. I'm gonna re-download them and crop them so it doesn't have that weird ad in the front. I also just added the phenomenal Steenbarger course in there with the Steenbarger notes. So that is actually turning into bearish consolidation. So that's a bear pennant. Looks like it may want to drop a little bit further, but I can't trade it. Keep in mind though, look at this chart on NQ. This is not a bullish chart. We had a sell side liquidity sweep here, which was a gorgeous PT this morning for options trading. And we have higher lows. I can't enter yet, but I'm still leaning bearish overall. Like, this is not a bullish chart. This is a freaking head and shoulders with higher lows here, 2 of them. So we could drop a lot more. Not going to enter though because ES is on a pivot. I could enter here because it's bearish consolidation, but we just broke out of consolidation. It's already consolidating again. You can enter here. You know, if I didn't just take profits on a trade, this candle on NQ right now is a good entry candle. It really is. In fact, I kind of am tempted to take it, but it's all right. We'll see. I mean, if we bounce all the way up to here, I'm technically confirmed into longs, but the thing is, with the way the 15-minute bigger time frame NQ chart looks, it looks more bearish overall, so I'm a little reluctant to opt into longs. You know, if we get up here and we chop our way up, kind of in the form of a rising wedge, I will not enter longs. I'll be looking to go short. But if we do get up there with momentum, I'll go long. But for now, still looks bearish. It is interesting that this candle's invalidating on NQ. This looks pretty bearish, actually. We'll see how it closes. ES is trying to bounce, but no, it's looking like NQ's about to head further down on the next candle. Oh, it did head just a tiny bit further down. Yeah, I like NQ shorts. I mean, ES is on a pivot, and I have a rule that I don't take continuation trades on pivots usually, but ES is a bear pennant, which is bearish. NQ is weaker than ES. If ES were to break to the downside, NQ would probably drop to my next PT. How far away is that PT from here? Because I am battling demons right now, trying to not enter this trade. I'm very tempted to enter this trade. The PT is a bit too far away. The risk reward's too crazy. I mean, if I can enter down here-ish, that would be nice. If I can enter all the way down here, that would look good. And all of a sudden, that just flipped bullish. Lower lows, nice momentum candle there. That right there, if I wasn't overall bearish on the bigger time frame charts, that right there, that candle on NQ would be a long entry, a riskier reversal entry. But now my finger's off the trigger for shorts because even if it goes back down, it's still chopping down, which is kind of an issue for me. Tough decisions. Swaggy says, you're the only guy who can mentor hundreds of people, talk to them every day, help them learn, answer a bunch of DMs, and still call himself complacent. To be fair, I have been really slacking on DMs over the last couple months, to be fair. So definitely, I'm still complacent a lot. There's so much more I could be doing. It's freaking draining. It's draining being profitable myself. It's so draining worrying about everyone else being profitable. Like, you guys don't know how hard this mentorship is, like, hurt my overall psychology this year. It's been a huge pain in the ass. I'm sitting here stressing in my free time over people like Tommy. People that are losing everything to the market because they just won't listen. Let's check YouTube chat. Sorry, I'm gonna upgrade my setup and get more screens. I've just been rolling on 2 screens forever, so Discord chat's a lot more active, so I'm watching Discord chat, but I keep checking out on YouTube, guys. So do you just set your options buy, take profit, stop loss? No. Good question. So futures is also a little different than options because I know where I have a set PT, a set stop loss. Options, I have no idea. All I do on options is I'm like, okay, this is a bear flag on ES. I am bearish for it to drop, let's just say to right here. And I know this flag's invalidated if it gets up to here. It's my job to sell when it gets here and sell when it gets here. So it's not as mechanical as futures trading, which hurts your psychology a little more. However, you'll notice that much more often I am in big runs on options because I don't have to. If it dumped right through my PT, I don't have to sell because all of a sudden it looks like, oh wait, it looks pretty good to my next PT. I'll hold a little bit longer, you know? Futures, that's not the case. The second it gets there, I'm triggered out of the trade. It's done. Well, those NQ shorts are working out. They still look really good, and NQ's kind of down to my area. ES is dropping below the pivot. NQ shorts look pretty good, guys. I'm kind of tempted. Looks like a pretty decent trade. Wait, it's getting a buying wick. Never mind. And a volume spike. This is why we wait till the last 10 seconds of a candle before I fill. If this candle opens red, I may fill it, but we did break to the downside out of that baby bear flag. And first leg consolidation, second leg. If that first leg is anything like that second leg, that'll look pretty good. Or second leg is anything like the first leg. And here's I did take a chance on it, guys. It's invalidating the well, I'll wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, it's getting put in a buying wick. Hang on. No. I took a chance on it. 2 seconds early on the fill, but whatever. I took a small chance. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't like buying it. I don't like shorting at low a day. I really don't, but NQ's weaker than ES. ES confirmed to break to the downside on the bear flag. First leg consolidation, second leg. If the second leg is anything like the first leg, ES has the potential to drop down to here. The problem would be if NQ flips strong after enter, then just trades toast. But this is a much riskier trade than the other ones. Lower probability of working out, and do not enter this trade. Good lord. Well, that was quick. Talk about getting unlucky. Jeez, that's a bullish candle on NQ. That is a long entry. I don't have any news or anything. That is a freaking long entry right there. Good lord. Well, at least it went beyond my stop loss. Jeez. All right, hang on. Let me document that. As I was saying, this trade's a lot riskier than the other ones. I get the biggest candle of all time. You could take longs on that candle if you want to. Oh my gosh, this is bullish, folks. This is bullish. Yep. That's bullish. That is very bullish. That's looking like this top trend line is going to break. It's already breaking this one. So we'll see. If it gets in bullish consolidation here, I'm willing to take it. So if it puts in this small red candle, then covers it up with a green candle, I'll hop in. Otherwise, I still kind of have my sentiment of, you know, if we get up to here in a very bullish manner, it is a good long to here. This high. Well, you honor your stop losses, folks. What would happen to you if you didn't honor your stop loss? I know some of you guys didn't. I know you guys. I know you guys. That is freaking bullish, folks. Oh my gosh. That is so damn bullish. Jeez. I don't know if it's even gonna let me in. I told you guys this candle's a long entry if you want to take it, but I can't alert. I have a hard time alerting. You know, if I alerted a trade and I just stopped out, I'd be willing to take it undercover, but to alert a long trade reversal. So it did. So this was my hypothesis from earlier. If we invalidate most of this bounce in a very bullish manner, I am bullish for it to get to this high, and oh my word, it's going to do it. It's going to do it. Oh, that's perfect trend line on NQ. Please pull back. If it would pull back, I would for sure enter. I don't think it's going to pull back, though. I think it's so strong. We'll see. It looks so good, guys. You guys can be all over this. I can't alert it. I scalped it a little bit. I can't alert it though. There's not enough there's not enough there. It's too much of a chase to alert. Which is funny because the last trade was kind of a chase too. But the thing is, I had a very solid pivot and the bear flag did break to the downside. Had a nice tight stop loss. That was a beautiful stop loss right here. This was freaking gorgeous. Okay, looks like it's rejecting the trend line, which is really bullish. This is a really nice trend line. It's not gonna last. If we pull back to here, probably gonna fill. That is, yeah, that looks really good. Okay, we pulled back enough. Now I'm waiting. If this drop starts invalidating, I'll be in there. It's tough because it happened at the beginning of this candle. I usually don't trade until the end of the candle. So it's a toss-up. I don't know if it's going to drop a lot more. I don't know if it's going to go back up. But at any point, if it does get up to here, that's really bullish. It's at least probably going to clear this high, which means it has a really good shot to this one. And this would be my ultimate PT here. That's looking good. Okay, I got a little bit more time. Still waiting. I am seeing a potential sketchy inverse head and shoulders on NQ, and that's a hell of a good neckline right there. Like, this is a bullish. This is really bullish. This pullback, I give it a solid 80% chance of being a very temporary bullish pullback. I'm hoping this candle shoots up at the end of the candle to here because then I can fill. But if it closes just a tiny green candle, it's not quite enough to fill. And there's a good chance the beginning of the next candle is going to be all the way up here. And I'm going to miss out on a good entry. This is what I'm waiting for. Starting to fall. I'd be very surprised if this trend line holds. Like I said, this is like an 80% chance that it breaks that trend line. But it's starting to fall hard enough to it's starting to be a possibility because ES has invalidated most of the bounce. Keep in mind though, when a big run like that invalidates, it usually can. I'm about to be triggered into shorts, guys. When a big run like that usually when it invalidates, it ends up continuing down because why would it invalidate the run if it wasn't going to go lower? It's just a probability thing. This candle is getting a big buying wick, so I have to wait. But guys, I'm nearly filled on shorts. I am. Jeez, and the PT's far away though. That's freaking bearish, guys. I put my order. I tried filling. It did not fill me. Is it gonna fill me? Where's my order at? 62.75. Okay, it did fill me. I'll give it a chance. I'm confirmed in. You know, we invalidated a majority of a massive run. I have a solid pivot coming up. Technically, low a day is the first PT. I don't want to go to low a day. I'd much rather go to this PT down here, but it's just so damn far away, you know? It's really far away. So I don't know what PT I'm going to go with yet, but the stop loss is kind of set in stone. It's a bullish buying wick. Good entry, though. I mean, the trade started off green. I am looking for NQ new low of day. Hang on, I gotta document this. It's getting multiple lowing wicks on NQ. That's a reversal signal. That's a bounce signal. It's a bullish buying wick. If this candle closes green, that's pretty good because it had to make up a lot of ground to do that. I'm probably going to regret it if it does hit this PT, but I think I'm just going to go with the 1-to-1 risk to reward. This is actually my stop loss here, just a little tighter than that. Because the thing is, if it comes all the way back here, then I'm pretty much triggered back into longs, which I don't want to happen. I don't want to have to take a loss and re-enter. But the way it's putting in these buying wicks right now, I think I'm just going to go for the new low of day PT. Even though I said it usually continues after that. Man, that was such a hard bounce. And now I'm skittish, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going with the closer PT. You guys can go further away if you want to. It's probably going to continue down. I'm just skittish. It bounced so freaking hard. Who am I to go short and just expect it to just... Even though, like I said, statistically, it does continue down, I'm just going to be conservative, honestly. I don't... Yeah. And that if it does hit the new low of day, which it's come very close. Okay, ES hit new low of day, NQ did not, which is a problem. Because ES could bounce and sweep. And it could reverse the NASDAQ. Yep, the NASDAQ looks like it wants to bounce. And unfortunately, it can. I mean, that last candle was a bullish. We got 3 buying weeks in a row. This is why I went for the more conservative PT, because I had too many red flags. But like I said, it's very unlikely that it does not get to low day. This is a pretty likely trade, especially now that it's gotten that close to low day. It's very likely. Oh, that's another bounce signal. NQ wants to go back up. That's not good. Yeah, it's stronger than ES by a decent amount. And ES easily could bounce. I mean, it got a nice volume spike on that small red candle. Thank the Lord I was disciplined and didn't chase this trade because I did want to get in, but I just couldn't put an alert together for it. I scalped it a little bit from like here to here, but probably wasn't the best psychology with that. That's a bear pennant on NQ. Yeah, that's gonna blow right through low day most likely. Actually, wait, this candle was a little bit too big. Maybe not. This candle ended up finishing with... So it just dropped a ton. And like I said, if it puts in bearish consolidation, it extends the potential of that run. So yeah, it could get to the really far away PT. It's just that is twice as far, man. It's too unlikely for me. We got to get to the first one first, and it doesn't even really want to do that at the moment. I also don't like that the this candle opened lower than the close of that red candle. And with how green it is, it's looking like unless a magical selling wick shows up and invalidates most of this candle, which it is trying to do right now, it looks like it would bounce to at least here-ish. Pretty bullish candle open. When it opens within the selling wick like that, that's bullish. It may do like a baby short squeeze to the level that I just drew right here. Hey Bryce, thanks again for sending the link yesterday. I watched them all. Oh, Chris, you actually watched them all yesterday? That is freaking awesome. That's a lot of content to digest. It's amazing stuff, though, and I'm on my first sample of this exercise. Wild High psychology info is so hard to find, whereas the strategy gurus have millions of clicks. Yep. Oh, got to the place where I said it was going to go. And that's more bullish than I thought. That's a freaking short squeeze. This trade may stop out. Another green to red trade. You'd love to see it. It was a really good trade, a really good entry, though. You said there's a perfect trend line on NQ. Yeah, if you extend it out just a little bit, let me see. Yeah, if you connect these 3 points, it is. I wouldn't say it's not perfect on my screen at least. So this trade's a lot more likely to invalidate or stop out now because NQ is stronger than ES. And ES has swept lower lows and bounced from them, indicating a bullish liquidity sweep. It's not looking good for this trade, folks. Not looking good at all. Looks like it's going to stop out, like a solid 70% chance. Are you into crypto twos? I'm not into crypto, man. I've called out a lot of crypto. I've given a lot of TA on crypto. I've made some people a lot of money on crypto just by giving my analysis, but I never pulled the trigger on it. It's just never something that really appealed to me. And over the last 2 years, some of you guys may be OG enough. I used to trade Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, AMD every single day. Those were my options trades. But wash sale rule, which is taxes, wash sale rule hurts a lot when you sit there and trade Tesla and Apple. There's no wash sale. You guys get hurt by wash sale, and if you start flipping profitable, it's really gonna eat you, right? And essentially, wash sale is you can't claim more than one loss per 30 days on the same stock. Okay, so if I lose $1,000 on Apple, let's say, that's a bullet. Unfortunately, it was looking good again, but that buying wick is really bullish on the NASDAQ, guys. Unfortunately. Anyways, it kind of invalidated there at the end. Maybe there's a chance now. There's a chance if we invalidate that huge green candle that got put in, which means if we drop somewhere down to like here, it's gonna hit PT and it's probably gonna go way further than PT. But I ain't moving my PT. Anyways, so let's say today I trade Apple. And I make $500 on Apple. Cool. I'm up $500. So I owe like, what, $150 on taxes, something like that? Okay. So I make $500 on Apple. But then tomorrow I lose $500 on Apple. Okay. So or let's say tomorrow I lose half of it. I lose $250 on Apple. So I'm still green overall, $250. Okay. Made $500 the first day, lost $250 the second day, and the third day comes around, and I lose another $250 on Apple. I'm like, dang, I'm break even. Well, you can't claim that second loss on taxes if it happened within the 30 days, within the same month or whatever. So even though you're break even, you still owe taxes on $250. That's wash sale rule. And even now, when I trade, I still get hit by wash sale a little bit due to QQQ. But the thing about SPX and futures trading, but SPX does not have wash sale rule. SPX does not have wash sale rule, and not only that, SPX 60% of all your gains are taxed as long-term capital gains. That's why I stopped alerting Apple, Tesla, all those things, and my win rate was fantastic. I think I hold the Discord record for longest streak. I had 83 green alerts in a row over 2 months. But when I lost massive, freaking wiped out half the gains. Because I spend that whole time focusing on being correct. Finally, when I'm not correct, I'm not going to be willing to accept it. Anyways, every lot when you claim losses, if I'm alerting Apple and Tesla every day, analysts don't really think about it because a lot of them don't actually, are profitable or whatever. If I trade Apple every day, I'm alerting it on it. You guys are getting hit by a wash sale rule, and you're not going to be able to claim most of your losses, and you're going to end up owing money that you never even made. So, very dangerous. Futures, though, I think section 1039, section 1256. SPX is section 1256 contracts. Look it up. Futures is section 1256 contracts as well. So when you're trading futures with your own money, 60% long-term capital gains, 40% short-term capital gains. So that saves you a lot of money in taxes right there, and no wash sale rule. Now keep in mind, I recommend most of you guys do funded futures. So now, at least if you have an LLC, you might be able to do it without an LLC, but you need an LLC. If you trade under your EIN, which is your employee identification number for your LLC, let's say I finally get my first payout, $2,000, but I spent $4,000 in accounts trying to get that first payout, I wouldn't owe any taxes because I'm still red overall $2,000. Because that was the cost to do business. Your trading is a business, and you buying those accounts, and your TradingView subscription, your Discord subscription, all your stuff that you use to trade, your internet, become write-offs because it's the cost to do business. And you'd only pay taxes on what you're green. Hope that makes sense. Now keep in mind, I trade QQQ, which I think does have a little bit of wash sale rule. I don't really notice. I need to go back through last year's taxes and look. I think QQQ is not wash sale exempt. However, there's SPY and there's SPX. Well, SPX I can trade because there's a lot of volume in SPX. Lots of people trade SPX. NDX is the NASDAQ equivalent to SPX. NDX is the QQQ version of SPX. However, there's never any volume on it. The contracts are expensive as hell, and there's huge spreads. I can't trade it, at least not yet. I hope that eventually NDX gets a lot more volume because I'd like to switch just to SPX and NDX. Way better for taxes. And I don't trade options live ABC because it's already hell trading my options, doing my TA, and then alerting everything I do. That's already too much work. Futures, I'm not alerting it in a channel, so I'm able to hang out, talk, and also futures, there's no time decay. So I can sit in a trade like this for 20 minutes, and I have plenty of time to talk. Options, it's much more fast-paced. I'm racing against the time. I trade 0 days, which is the most volatile. I don't have time to talk. I am silent. Stonky sent a good link. I'll send it for you YouTube guys as well. Here's a story about a dude that made $45,000 in profit and owed $800,000 in taxes. Like I said, it looks good to hit PT now. It's probably going to go way further. I don't care. I'll take it. There we go. PT hit. Well, covered that last loss, huh? Good. And like I said, this is the next PT. I did say it's usually going to go further than the drop, and it is going a little bit further, but it's hard for me to... with how hard it bounced here and how hard it bounced here, I'm not able to commit to that. However, if at any point we come back up here, guys, if we come back up here, I will be in there like underwear because this is a perfect, trend line. It's very tested. This is a solid trade to take, and maybe you lose once chasing it, but the risk reward's pretty good too. So, if it comes up, it stops you out. Oh, well, if it comes up one more time, then you could do it. However, if we start compressing, then all of a sudden the odds change. It's not looking as good. Well, I was up 500 last night because I did some overnight trading, but we are up 12K today. Neat. That kind of includes my overnight trading where I was up a few grand, but it's been a pretty solid day. I'm glad, even though it's still chopping, but at least I was able to work with it today. Like, I can still make money in chop, but if it's doing this for an extended period of time, I can't do it. And yesterday, it chopped for the entire... It was still chopped as I'm speaking right now. 2 hours in, it was still chopping. It was around the 2.5 hour mark when it finally started moving downwards. And by then, my psychology and trust was too fried to be willing to take any trades. And I just wasn't able to I wasn't able to commit to shorts, unfortunately. Which, again, if I'd robotic psychology, I probably could have. But if I sit through 2 hours of terrible chop, I'm just going to have trust issues. And I'm not going to be willing to, short at low a day. Time chat, you guys make money on that short? That's starting to look good for longs. That was a good exit. I'll take that. All right, we do have a potential falling wedge on ES here. But this is a perfect trend line, folks. So I don't trust it. It's kind of close. It bounced off this trend line. This trend line's got to go on NQ. Look at this. Now, it can still bounce, but nah, I'm still bearish for us to get to, the overnight low and then yesterday's low. Because I'm not really able to trade it. It's chopping down. I did what I could. Even if it does continue down, now it's too close to PTs to take it. And, I have this bias up here. This really nice trend line up here, that's a good point to break sometime. Very profitable session, though. Very happy with it. Hopefully, you 49 people in here made some money as well. Type in chat in Discord, though. YouTube chat's too dead. It'll grow over time. How do you guys do this? 2.5 hours. Or, no, not 2.5. It's going on 2 hours. Rakai says, I'm mind blown that I'm break even on the day, even though it feels like I'm negative 1,000. Nice job. $12K, about your half size. Yes, Swaggy, but I traded last night as well. So today, let me do the math in that thing. Because I just figured out the second hour is going to be bad. Like, I come in here depressed as hell. I'm like, here we go, ready to lose money again. It's been so bad. Yeah, so just in this session, I'm up 7 grand. That's including losses as well. So I made 5 last night. I actually sent, I don't think you East Coasters were awake, but I actually sent the TA in chat. I sent the NASDAQ bull flag that I played, and it actually worked out. It was pretty nice. Did I send it in? Yeah, I sent in free trading floor. If you scroll up, go to last night. Yeah, I said it was 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, you guys were still awake. I had that bull flag. There was a rising wedge before. I was actually long during that rising wedge, but my stupid broker declined my exit because I keep forgetting if I already have 2 buy orders on the chart, it's not going to accept the third one. So I have to close my PT in order to get out of break. So I took a loss there, but yeah, I played the flag, break to the upside, and then the bull pennant after. So it worked out pretty nicely. Yeah, I also gotta clean up the YouTube. By the way, this is like another short entry, by the way, guys. I mean, we're bouncing, we're invalidating the bounce. That's enough to get me into a short. I don't think I'm gonna take it, though. It looks fairly likely to get to this blue PT that I have here. But with how much it's chopped down, it's hard for me to commit. You guys can take it if you want. It's not a bad trade. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to take it. And where your stop? I mean, you could put your stop loss all the way right here. It's a really close stop loss, but that wouldn't be a bad one. It really wouldn't. Problem is this buying wick makes that stop loss fairly likely to hit, and ES is actually sweeping low a day right now. Yeah, you can take it if you. I mean, put your stop loss further away. It's completely up to you. Anyways, yeah, I gotta clean up the YouTube channel. Like, I don't do this social media stuff. Hang on. Oops. It looks like NQ stronger than ES by a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I need to get rid of this. Oh, shoot. You guys took that trade, you're green so far. That looks like it's going to be PT, guys. Anyone take that trade? Type in chat. Not to get hopes up or anything, but it looks like it's going to hit PT. Yeah, the YouTube channel is still ugly right now. The homepage is ugly. Everything's ugly. Starting to get a volume spike with a potential buying wick. Look at the volume spike on ES. That's your first reversal signal we've seen since this drop right here. That's your first one. And it's playing out like a reversal. Will it actually, though? It's not looking like it wants to on the NASDAQ. It's 15-minute charts. I told you guys I was bearish on this 15-minute chart all the way up here. I said it. Now, if we do miss this pivot and bounce, knock on wood for anyone that's in shorts, if we do miss this pivot and bounce, it's probably still going to come down at some point. If it does, that's a good entry right there. Just like technically, I told you guys this was a short entry right here. So we bounced, we validated the bounce. That's how you trade a trending market. It's really the best you can do. Wait for a bounce, wait for the majority of the bounce to invalidate. You know it's at least probably going to get to a new low of day. So the trade's going to start out a little bit of green, which it will increase your odds by a little bit. And then you just kind of go from there. You just kind of hope that it continues. Looks like NQ may be flipping weaker than ES, but this is no longer a proper bottom on ES. It does have a volume spike, but I'm thinking ES maybe does something like this. See, NQ could bottom out if it puts in a doji. Yeah, NQ's a lot weaker than ES. See, if ES gets a new low a day, that might be enough to push NQ to PT. No, NQ's trying to put in another reversal candle. That's a reversal candle on the NASDAQ. Looks like it just flipped strong. Hit some buy orders in here. Oh, yeah, that's what it hit. It's another very small pivot right here. It's pretty minor. But that's what that hit, and it is causing that reversal. Look at that. Could be a trend line retest, but NQ is a lot stronger than ES now. It doesn't look as good. Let me see how the YouTube, let me mess with this a bit more. Yep, that is a bullish bounce. And that selling wick was bearish, but it quickly got invalidated. This bounce is giving signals that it's going to go on for a bit. Randy, you can DM me, but I'm not really advertising that. I just don't want other Discord owners bugging the hell out of me saying, you're stealing my members, stop it. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I really don't. Chopping down on NQ, that's pretty bullish. I want to stick around because I want to see that PT break, because that would be a great way to end off. But, you know, if it bounces way up there, it looks like it's going to. If it bounces way up there and then comes back down, I think I'll take another trade. Told you guys that was a reversal signal, and it was on a fairly minor pivot. I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think that's low of day on the NASDAQ. It could be. I don't think it's very likely, though. I think we're probably going to see 120 at some point today. See how high this keeps going. Hell, it may get all the way up to here. We'll see if it invalidates. I'll hop back in. Doesn't really look like it's going to. It looks like, I mean, you could even take along to this high. It's a small trade though, but that's, I mean, it's technically a valid trade. It really is. It's just, you know, if you stop out of this trade, you're gonna have to flip the shorts. And, you know, that gives you the possibility of stopping out of 2 trades in a row, which is bad for the psychology. Looks like it's pulling back. Now, if that selling wick invalidates, it's probably going to get to this high. But if most of this drop invalidates, yeah, I'm bearish to that PT. Yeah, if this red candle validates, it's a pretty good long. Doesn't look like it wants to invalidate though. Actually, put in a little buying wick. I mean, it could be it could be an inverse head and shoulders too. I'm seeing it, but and that kind of makes it difficult to enter short down here. It really does, because you have this possibility. You could see it on ES as well. What do you guys think? Type in chat. You guys think it's gonna get to this level first, or clear new low of day first? And that's a long entry right there. I did take it. We'll see what happens. It happened within the last 10 seconds. I did get a pretty decent fill. It's a very small trade. Very small trade. That's where my stop loss. Yep, small trade. I'll give it a small chance. It's not bad. You know, it invalidated the red candle. Looks like it's trying to put in bullish consolidation. It is stronger than ES, but the start of this candle on ES doesn't look so good. I wanted ES to pop up to here. If ES can get up to here, this trade's probably going to hit PT, because it's stronger than ES. And by the time ES is up to here, I'm going to be bullish for it to clear this high, and that should put NQ at PT. But if ES doesn't do that, we're probably just going to drop to new low of day on ES. Yeah, ES does not want to go up. NQ does, but ES does not. Looks like ES is going to force NQ to pull back. If ES bounces, this trade's going to hit PT. Let's hope it bounces. It's starting to. Like I said. Where did I say I wanted it to be? Like right here? Jeez. With how strong NQ is, guys, the problem is ES just does not look like it's going to allow NQ to go very high. Like, ES does not look like it wants to go up. But aside from that, we do have a potential inverse head and shoulders on ES. If ES does break this high, NQ could run all the way past this trend line. It really could. But we still have a lot of shorts stepping in. You can see here on the NASDAQ. If ES can't really get to my first line, which was right here, it's not going to allow this trade to hit. Very good strength analysis, though. It's not looking as good anymore. Now it's dropping up on the NASDAQ. Hate to say it, NQ's probably going to pull back. Now, hypothesis isn't validated, so I'm not going to stop early, but it looks like NQ's starting to flip weak. It was strong, did look good, but NQ did not put in the right shoulder for its head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders yet. It wouldn't look bad for it to pull back. The problem is, it's a good chance it gets to my stop loss on the pullback and it goes up, but it looks a lot better now. Yeah, never mind. Disregard what I said, unless it somehow comes back down. Because this inverse head and shoulders looks ready to at least test the neckline on ES, which should put NQ at PT. ES got to where I wanted it to, the little line I drew right here. I mean, yeah, this could run. I mean, this could run. This could be it for a while. I'm still bearish for 128 to hit on NQ, 21, 128-ish. That's the overnight low. But I'm just looking at price action. ES got to a decent little pivot. Decent little pivot. It's not a major pivot. But the way we've been chopping down around this pivot, it looks like there's serious potential for this to go on a run. And plus, on top of that, I still have this perfect trend line up here. All looks like potential. NQ's starting to feel the resistance here. That's not good. NQ's weaker than ES again. NQ wants to put in that right shoulder. Where's my PT even at? Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, no, missed it. Unfortunate. That's bearish on the NASDAQ. Looks good for at least a pullback. And the problem is, this is starting to turn into a bear pennant on ES, unfortunately. Was looking really good there for a second. Very likely to hit. But if this buying wick doesn't hold and it puts in another solid red candle, it's going to look like it's going to dip pretty close to my stop loss. And by the time it's close to my stop loss, I just assume it's going to stop out. You know, I'm not going to be an optimist while trading. That's a pretty dangerous thing to be. I'm never an optimist while I trade. Pessimist, if anything. So if you're a pessimist and you just assume your trade's going to stop out, but you still take the trades as you should, stopping out is going to hurt your psychology less. How's the last hour been? New attack. Today's been a pretty decent day, dude. I'm green on the day. It's been a pretty decent day, actually. Started off with price action pretty terrible, but it didn't last long enough to where it really hurt me. It was a fairly short amount of time. You know, it lasted just for the first 20 minutes. And then I was able to start taking advantage of things. And it's still kind of chopping down, but as you can see here, we have a huge, it's chopping in at least a way that I can read. We have a huge descending broadening wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern on the NASDAQ. And technically speaking, you find the width of your, as you guys know, you find the width, you find your PTs of your patterns. I don't do it too often because I have better PTs like pivots and supply and demand. But that would be the PT for this. So this broadening wedge is technically big enough to send us potentially to high day. But with where we bounce on the NASDAQ, you know, we miss this big pivot. We bounce off this very minor one here. I'm still leaning bearish for low of day. And damn it, guys, NQ barely missed my PT again. I thought there was a decent chance it was going to hit, but it looks like it's really trying to put in this inverse head and shoulders. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I missed it by 1 point. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, this swept this pivot by just 1 tick, too. Let's see if the CS bear pennant breaks to the downside. You know, we technically have potential double fake prophecy, right? Fake one way, fake the other way, go the original way. Happens probably 55 to 60% of the time. So that's still going for this trade, but if NQ puts in a right shoulder, the left shoulder is all the way down here, my stop loss is right here, it's not looking too good. That was a good entry, though. I mean, it was pretty much green the entire trade. Just does not look good anymore. Or nearly as good. Spy call trading futures, sir. The guy with the star. You trade with Apex? I trade with Apex, yeah. I have no need for a live account yet. Okay. Randy, DM Bryce trades. I'm going to spell it out for you. There you go. I just said Bryce trades. Randy. Let me know if that DM goes through. Assassin says, hey Bryce, are you using Robinhood? Absolutely not. I absolutely do not use Robinhood. Absolutely not. I used it to bet on the election, which was stupid. I should have bought Tesla calls to bet on the election. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, I do not use Robinhood. Robinhood does not have real charts. NQ wants to drop, folks. It wants to drop. It's a lot weaker than ES. That was a big selling wicket just put in. Again, was looking good for a second, but shorts are doing it. Now, here's the thing. I'm still leaning bullish for this NQ drop. It's still a potential inverse head and shoulders. The thing is, I just don't want it to because then it'll be too close to my stop loss. It might as well just hit. I'm using TradingView. What you're seeing right now is TradingView to chart. Yep, it's fantastic. Man, NQ's still a lot weaker than ES. It does not look good. Does not look good at all. It's a lot weaker than ES, and if ES decides to drop just a little bit, NQ looks like it wants to dump. But if ES can put in a green candle and NQ holds a major buying wick like this one right here, it'll still be looking like a inverse head and shoulders. It's like so 50-50 where it's at right now. Just slightly lower and I'm bearish, slightly above and I'm bullish. But if it holds this buying wick, it's got a chance. A very solid chance. Well, it was holding the buying wick. Not anymore. Like I said, it's weaker than ES, and if ES does not bounce, yep, this is unfortunate. And unfortunately, if this bear pennant, the PT for this pennant is all the way, yeah, this bear pennant could easily print low of day. This trade is toast. Was a damn good trade though. It got so close to PT. Was green for pretty much the entire trade. Just unlucky it didn't have the strength just to get here. Unlucky. Don't say it. You're gonna jinx it. No one say it. No one say a word. I feel like just me saying that jinxed it. Well, was almost looking really good again there too. This trade just looked good the entire trade, but just couldn't do it. So this is going to stop out now. As high of a chance one trade can have, like 99.999% chance to stop out. If it goes back up, I think I'll re-enter. Otherwise, you know, it'll be looking good to get to 128 on NQ. I mean, that was the whole PT. And man, that was a really good trade. That sucks that this one stopped out. That is unfortunate. The last two setups I gave didn't take this one, but this setup was another green to red one too. Oh, looks good to get to that PT, that 128 PT. me just document that. Like I said, inverse head and shoulders is still possible technically, but I'm leaning more bearish for low day. That last red candle was a bit too bearish, and how much buyers kept stepping in and propping it up, trying to get it past that 171 point. Yeah, it's definitely bearish. How much would it be if let's say I took this trade? Yeah, it would be another really small win. Very small win if I took it. Hopefully I can get like a better average, but you can't take shorts if you want if this green candle invalidates. That looks pretty good. Oh, that is a perfect double bottom on ES. Just like earlier today. I am bearish for that to break. Where did that happen earlier today? Oh yeah, right here. This one was a way bigger deal though. It was more far apart. The lows were more spread apart, so it was a bigger deal. But yeah, I am bearish for ES to crack low day, and NQ is weaker than ES. So I'm very bearish for NQ to break low day as well. And I am trading this, let's see, yeah, it's almost there. Almost there. Looking for this blue line right here. So that was new low a day across the board. It's at risk of bouncing now, but this is my PT here. Imagine we get 3 near misses in a row. Yeah, never mind, it hit. 3 near misses in a row. Barely missed here, didn't take this trade, and then barely missed there. All right, did hit. Next PT is, damn, it sucks. I really wanted this trade to play out because I knew I was going to have to go short. I knew I was going to be able to make money on this. So I wanted to double up and make money on this move here and then reverse and go back down. It was perfect. The stars were aligned, but oh well. Yeah, I mean, my big PT is all the way down here at 21,098 on NQ. I don't know how likely it is to get there. On the 15-minute chart, it's a pretty damn bearish chart. You know, as I said, head and shoulders, downtrend, all that jazz. But, you know, we're getting another reversal signal here. A nice buying wick on NQ with a volume spike. How about it's invalidating early? So you could. I mean, if you really wanted to and you were just kind of feeling it and you're like, you know what, this is the trend, I'm happy with it. You could take a big trade here. It's a pretty good risk to reward. I wouldn't say it's super low odds, but the problem is it's chopping down. You're getting some reversal signals at the moment. Personally, I'd have to wait for another back. What it would be cool, though, is if we bounced all the way back up and I can re-enter that long, because now that we've swept buy side and we've swept these pivots, this trade will be much more likely to hit PT than it was previously. It's a much more likely trade now. That doesn't mean it's going to hit. It can still not hit, but it is truly much more likely to play out. And we still have this perfect trend line here. We still have this perfect trend. I'm going to delete this trend line. We know it's there, but that could be a long entry. I mean, you did sweep the pivot, which was this one here. You did get a solid liquidity sweep. And if this candle closes bullish, it is not. That's why I only take trades in the last 10 seconds. But if it closes without the selling wick, that can technically be an early long entry. You'll have a really good risk to reward, but just lower odds of working out. And that is an interesting candle. That's like a short entry right there. I said I would look for a bounce and invalidation to enter. Well, all that just happened in like one candle. That is crazy. That looks ready to drop more. So yeah, I guess technically that's a short entry on that candle, because I mean you did get a big bounce and it didn't validate, so I'm sure on the 15-second chart it looks like it. Yeah. So I mean technically that's an entry. Just when it happens within one candle, there's a low chance I'm going to react in time. And ES is weaker than NQ, so obviously ES was the better short to take there. That's bearish. That is bearish. We may just get to the PT. You guys that took this freaking trade, it may work out. It's really far though. But it's not unlikely. It really is not unlikely. It's just, do you really want to short low a day on a pivot? I don't know. Also, NQ is a whole lot stronger than yeah, never mind. You would not take that on a NQ is a whole lot stronger than ES. Look how much ES dropped below low a day, and NQ did not. That's interesting. But what do I have for pivots down here? Yeah, I got this one right here. These are the closest ones I have. So those would be PTs. Yeah, it looks like ES may actually flip stronger than NQ. Yeah. May actually do it. I'll hang out for a bit longer and see what this is going to do, because ES is putting in a potential reversal signal. It did get the volume spike. NQ looks like it may be bouncing up as well, but I don't know. I'm thinking we could flush here to my final pivot. If not, though, I want to be able to go long at 153 on NQ. Reversal signals potentially playing out on ES. You see that got that doji, which is indecisiveness. And if you see indecisiveness when the trend's been very decisive, that means the momentum of the trend is diminishing. And then you got a big volume spike on that as well, showing that there's a lot of contesting happening. But NQ's not weaker than ES. We could really go for a flush here, guys. I don't want to say it's super likely, but it's not looking unlikely. Yeah, there's NQ flipping weaker, just like I called out. And it's playing out weaker as well. Geez, and ES isn't even at low a day yet. Oh my gosh, this might hit, guys. Notice how at the end of the candle is kind of creeping back up, putting in that buying wick, and then it flashed down again. That's pretty bearish. Makes the next candle likely to be red. There it is. Getting a lot of buyer step in here, but ES has not hit new low of day yet. So NQ still got room to drop, even though this is a potential reversal candle again here. Yeah, if ES gets new low day, this potential little morning star that's happening here is going to invalidate. ES just needs to break this low, and I think that'll put NASDAQ somewhere right here. Then I'm thinking NQ will probably get a bounce somewhere close, and then maybe go down. That's what I'm kind of thinking is likely to happen. NQ starting to flip strong. If this candle does not close with a buying wick on NQ, which it looks like it is not, it is, so it's leaning a little bit more bullish. If this buying wick invalidates on NQ, that's looked like it may be bearish consolidation. But I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, this candle was a stop loss raid for institutions to fill their longs, and then it kind of trickles back up as short squeeze out. You could certainly see it. Yeah, it's looking like it's decent. I mean, NQ flips stronger than ES. I'm still bearish for ES to hit new low of day, but now if ES hits new low of day, I don't think NQ is going to hit new low of day as well at the same time. ES is going to need to break low of day by quite a bit if NQ is going to get there again. I'm going to delete this. This didn't end up doing much. Did a little bit. There's a ES perfect triple bottom. That's bearish. All right, like I said, ES got new low of day, NQ did not. That is bullish for NQ. Let's see if it actually does get down there. ES got another volume spike, indicating reversal. It might be enough to push NQ down, though. I don't know. It's looking like bearish consolidation now. It invalidated this green candle. NQ might flip weaker than ES again. Yeah, it's looking like it's going for it. Type in chat if you guys are taking advantage of shorts right now. There's ES to my big PT. NQ did not hit yet. There's the flush. I told you guys, I was thinking it was probably going to happen. There it is. NQPT just hit, and that is the flush. Jeez. It's a lot of money to be made today. Look at that. ES is almost to my big PT. My big PT is this one. This 59.90. It's looking like it may actually get there. Is there something happening in 3 minutes, by the way, guys? No, I don't see anything that's happening right now. Yeah, ES may get to that PT. Oh, it's totally going to get there. Good grief. I don't have another one on NQ, not for a while. I think it's unlikely that ES holds a bounce above this blue line. I think it's going to get there. It almost got it. It's the last PT I have on my chart for now. There it is. Scalped it a little bit there. That would be a good place for a reversal, not gonna lie. That would not be a bad place for a reversal. It's technically a long entry on ES if anyone's crazy enough to step in front of the train and take it. It's the candle's invalidating though. NQ is quite a bit weaker than ES. ES wants to bounce, NQ does not. I think NQ is going to drag it just a little bit lower, and then it's probably going to pop back up. Or go for at least a bounce. This is fun. This is good right here. This is entertaining. What is causing this? Freaking bear flag played out. Jeez. Too bad I was like pretty much done trading on the day. I was supposed to only be in it for like 2 hours. I'm going on 2.5 now. It's like right when I get... Price action was a lot better today, but still right when I get out. That's when all the good stuff happens. That was a huge volume spike on NQ. I'd be surprised if we don't get a reversal here. At least some kind of bounce. Like at least maybe to this high. The way this candle's already getting a selling wick is a red flag, but at least probably to that high. This doesn't look too bad to bounce either. I want to stick around and see if it does. No, it invalidated it. Wow. I can't see NQ dropping too much lower, though. Don't step in front of the train. Non-financial advice. Do whatever you want, but would not recommend it. Definitely think the bottom is close to getting put in after that volume spike on NQ. ES making the lower low just on that last candle with the doji. That does not look bad. And you could take a risk. I mean, a long trade wouldn't be terrible. Just honor your stop loss if it hits. And that's the hard part because your stop loss is so freaking close. But I mean, if you... Jeez, these trades are huge. Look how big the candles are. Yeah, that would have to be your trade right there. There you go. Tight stop loss. Kind of a crazy PT. Oh, look at that. It is getting there. So it got to the... I was thinking it might get to the high of this. Well, hang on. Let's do some math here. Okay, well, it bounced to the 23.6. If it rejects it, it's still in a strong downtrend. I'm thinking it's probably going to bounce up near the 38.2 on both ES and the NASDAQ. Yeah, ES is nearly at the 38.2. So if you're in long, I probably wouldn't even hold to the 38.2. The second ES hits 30.2, I'd be out. But it's also getting these selling wicks now, indicating that this bounce is coming to an end. See if ES gets to 38.2. Because as long as it's under the 38.2, it's still in the downtrend, but if it breaks over the 38.2, then a new uptrend starts. But the 38.2 is the most common fib to test for any kind of decent bounce. It looks like it doesn't want to get there, though. Maybe it does. NQ putting in this buying wick really early on is a decent sign of it continuing, but it's too early in the candle to tell if it's going to hold. Looks like it's not going to hold. Technically, for anyone who took this trade, it barely missed the random PT that I set up. Technically, if it does drop all the way back down to here, it is a short trade. Would you actually take it, though? That's the question. I don't know. Looks like it may be going for another bounce. It is. So that's a bullish piercing line that it's trying to put in right now, which means it may make another run for the 38.2. But honestly, with that last red candle, I'm starting to lean bearish for new low of day again. We might go down to low day, guys. We might. If this candle isn't closed green, we might drift right back down to low day, which would be very surprised. That'd be so bearish for the market. If that happens, I'm going to think we may get all the way to the demand here on the NASDAQ. I'm going to have demand anywhere near on ES, do I? Where's my demand at? Oh, yeah. It's nowhere near. Well, I mean, that was technically a short entry if you wanted it. It's hard for me not to expect it to get multiple oscillations. And that PT is really close. The PT is really close. Because if we get to new low a day again, it might be dump time again. Because it shouldn't be able to get that without oscillating. Put in a little buying wick there. May want to bounce. Yep, there's a little bounce. Okay, well, obviously watch for the bull pennant or bear pennant or bear flag, and that would be another potential trade. I want to see if this actually breaks the downside or gets all the way to the 38.2. That's a major pivot that is consolidating on. So if it does put in like, this is bearish consolidation right now is what it looks like. So this is bearish. However, obviously like a bear pennant has a higher chance of breaking the downside. But because it's happening on this major pivot, is this even a major pivot? Yes, because it's happening on that major pivot, it decreases the success rate of that bear pennant or bear flag actually breaking to the downside. So be very careful for that. Be very careful for that. That hurts the odds of the trade if you do decide to go shorts. So just be prepared to stop out. Or you could take it and go long. Who knows? I am going to hop out soon, though. I've been in here for a very long time. Okay, looks like NQ is going to get to the 38.2% fib, which is up here. Or ES more so looks like it's going to. It could reject. It could be a bear pennant. With the way the last two candles are, I think it's likely to put in 3 white soldiers, which is also a bullish candlestick pattern. Yeah, it looks like ES and NQ are probably going to get to the 38.2. It'll be interesting to see how it interacts with that level. NQ flipped way stronger than ES. So it looks like NQ is going to beat it to the 38 too. That is 3 white soldiers that it put in on NQ, which is a bullish candlestick formation. I don't know though. This thing could still be bullish consolidation. You know, this dipped far enough for me to think it has a decent chance at getting new low of day again, realistically. If this didn't dip as far, then I'd be like, okay, well, we can do something like this. But because of how hard this dipped here, I'm kind of thinking we're going to see new low of day again at some point. As far as NQ is concerned, it looks really strong, really bullish right now. Let's see if ES changed that. You see ES trying to drag back down right now. NQ not so much. NQ barely put in a selling wick here. Didn't even put in a red candle. And I mean, ES is weaker than NQ, so it'll be the better short. I mean, if you entered right here, yeah, you got decent distance PT. You just need it to drop a little bit more. And you could go 1-to-1 on it, or you can have a closer PT like here that's not unlikely to sweep. That's not a bad trade. Even though it's on that pivot, which makes it risky, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem, is it's on that pivot. If this were happening above that pivot, I'd be all over it. Still looks bullish on NQ to run. Because ES looks like it's at least going to try to get to this high. I'm thinking we could turn around once ES gets to this high. And wherever that puts NQ, that puts NQ. That's bullish on NQ, folks. Unless this candle goes away, it's starting to look bullish here. That bearish consolidation's invalidated. That doesn't mean it's going to get there. You know, it could come back down, but it's certainly not looking good. For bears, at least. This is looking like a... Yeah, it's a bullish 15-minute chart on ES. Swept the pivot, got a reversal candle. Looks pretty decent. Well, with it not coming down anytime soon, I'm going to hop off. It's been a long session. It's been a very good one. I'm happy about it. Didn't really catch much of this last huge drop, but it happened, like yesterday, it happened at the very end, so I wasn't really willing to trade. But all right, well, I will see all of you beautiful people tomorrow, probably at the same time. And if you guys need anything, just reach out to me on Discord. Otherwise, good luck with your trading, and I'll see some of you guys after market close for the mentorship meetings.